football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Trubisky going to look to throw right away. That swung out wide to Harris. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Here's Trubisky. They'll drop it underneath here to Snell. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 3rd and 4 now. Charles, Thursday night game. I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Walker. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Now Cade York for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
First carry for Najee Harris. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And a good stiff arm and some space to run. There he goes left side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Well, that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. This defense for the Steelers, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And again, it's Chubb. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And the Steelers signal for another timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. So now on comes the field goal unit. And wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On second down, this is Harris. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Now it's Trubisky. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And it's complete right back to Ridley. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Trubisky will throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. He's got the first down and more. And into the end zone. Touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Boswell for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Winless to start the year at 0-2, and now they get the Thursday night game here in Week 3. So, I don't know, does the fact that they're back out so quickly, Charles, help or hurt their cause?
Oh, I say unequivocally help, because you always want a Thursday game earlier in the schedule rather than later, just because the grind of the season hasn't really set in yet. But also, if they can get a win here, they get a mini open week, recharge a little bit, and carry some fresh momentum into the rest of the season.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Watson. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The Browns at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They thought they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room, but they do have to start winning some games.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Watson. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On first down, it's Watson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Here's Watson. And his throw is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now it's Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Watson to Njoku there for the Cleveland first.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now Watson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Cameron Sutton. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, in a tight game like this, that could be an incredibly important pick 6, CD. And remember, it cancels out the one that the opposition had earlier in this ball game.
You're right about that, partner, because each side came up with plays to swing the momentum their way. Still plenty of time left for either team to come through with a win, though. Can someone else make a similar play and win it for their club?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They go up the middle with Chubb. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. To throw is Watson. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. Yeah, the Browns are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Back to throw, Watson. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. Extra point by York is up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Throwing here, Trubisky. Looking for Austin, intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down. Watson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, is going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 79 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. And incomplete on the deep ball.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Trubisky to throw. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. And that is incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
To throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. And in for the Steelers, touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Steelers go up by 2 touchdowns. Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead now up to 14. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the gun, Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A shotgun snap for Watson. Drops it off for Chubb.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both, because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Watson now to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Steelers will take over here just shy of the 30.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. After the interception, here's Trubisky. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Now it's Trubisky. He'll let it fly for Austin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
They go play action with Trubisky. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And he's got it inside the 10. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost. As he's taken down right at the 20. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And Charles, some things to like about that first half, ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out, continue to throw the ball effectively.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score.
Good job, good job.
The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They'll try the right side with Harris. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Trubisky. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
On third down, Trubisky.
That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
On 1st and 10, Watson. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 35.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Max Crosby, the one who got in there for the stop.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Watson.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
On 4th down, Watson. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Steelers are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky.
Complete to Austin here over the middle.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Looking to throw again on second down. Trubisky, room here to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. The partner is still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the...
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, this has been a bit of a tough game to figure out when it comes to him throwing the football. He's got the 3 touchdown passes, but now, Charles, this is a 3rd interception.
And those aren't really numbers that you'd like to see balance out. In a normal ledger sheet, if you can balance everything, you feel good about your day. But as a quarterback, you need your ratio to be more like 3 touchdown passes to 1 interception.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. T.J. Watt able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
On first down, it's Watson. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46.
Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Levi Wallace with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Let's rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Max Crosby, his second sack of the night.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? They'll set up a throw. And now here is another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Play action. Now Trubisky.
That's swung out wide to Harris. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off.
That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Steelers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 9 yards that time.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by York is up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Taken at the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. On first down, Trubisky. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
They go play action. Trubisky. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Now Trubisky to throw. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Looky here, Trubisky wants to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual...
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Here's Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. He's got a man complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 43. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. On first down, Watson. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
One last throw here for Watson. He's going deep for Brown. And my goodness, another interception. And the Steelers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Steelers, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Browns, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.